What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and you know we typically feature a beer of the week. Spooky month rolls on. I have my spooky Dunkin' Donuts shirt on. Shout out to Lauren. She got me a nice little shirt today. And
it's your birthday eve.
It is. Woohoo, I turned 35. I'll be 35 when this comes out. Yay. Shouts to getting older, as they say. But today's episode is all about gold. And no, we're not talking.
Not Austin Powers.
We are talking the wonderful, amazing film Leprechaun, featuring Jennifer. It was actually Jennifer Aniston's first big film. And we talked about her at our MegaCon horror panel this year. And so we, of course, did Troll with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And so we took a break, did House of Wax. Now we're back on our bullshit. It's Leprechaun.
This was better than Troll. I will say that.
It was better than Troll, but I don't know that that's saying a whole lot. So
it's not saying much at all.
You subscribe, you share, you follow anywhere you get your podcasts, your social media. We are there. We typically go into what we've been drinking, our beer of the week, if you will. Shout out that what we've been reading or watching lately, some news, and then our main topic. We do want to remind everybody we have a huge event, if you will, coming up. Lauren, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about our event on the 26th of October?
So yes, if you're in the Orlando area, Epic Comics, which is over in the Waterford area, it's on the same side as Kohl's and Home Depot and all that fun stuff. And they are hosting a Halloween event. And much like Free Comic Book Day, they do free comic books around Halloween too. They put the little trick or treat logo on the top. So they'll be passing out some comics. They usually have good deals on books. I'm sure they will. They haven't announced it, but I'd be surprised if they don't. And we will be recording a podcast there. We might do some pre-recording. We might do some live stuff. And I actually just confirmation from Alexis Weil, who has a comic out. I actually have the first 2 issues of it. And we met her at MegaCon. We've been wanting to set up a date to record, and we've just been kind of missing each other. And it sounds like she will be showing up there. And so we will actually get to do an interview with her in person there, which that's awesome. So I'm very excited. This has been my comic shop for well over 10 years.
Supporting the local homies, man. They're awesome.
And I've never had anything but great experiences every single time.
They put books in your box that you don't even ask for, and you find out that you absolutely love as well.
And I always go through them right before I buy them. So if there's something that I was like, oh, I didn't really love this one, like they obviously have no problem with me taking it out or anything. But I would say 99% of the time I read what they put in there and I love it. Like I wouldn't have grabbed Sabretooth, but they know that I love Wolverine, so they started putting those in there. And then I loved that recent Sabretooth, the Dead Men Don't Tell Tales. Am I quoting Pirates? Anyways, it was really good. I trust their judgment.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet them. They seemed awesome. I mean, they're a really cool comic book shop, without a doubt. And so I can't wait to get there. I'll be in Orlando Friday through Monday. Was supposed to run the Disney Half Marathon. Obviously, it's not happening now, but doesn't mean we're not going to have fun going to breweries, getting to do some really. We've never actually recorded a real. Well, we have once. I lied. So we did a recording together with Megan at GalaxyCon, and we've done panels, of course, a ton of panels, which I guess kind of counts, but we've never sat down and done like actual episode recording together. So that's something we've always talked about.
Never done it like privately, like we've only done it in public.
Well, we've always talked about, hey, we should record our episode when we get together, but typically we're just
too busy doing
nonstop. We're on cruises, we're doing stuff, but this time we don't really have much of an agenda other than that. So it's kind of fun and exciting. Unfortunately, we won't be taking the boat out this time because
you don't want me driving the boat.
That's the big talk when we always come down is we gotta get you on the boat. So it's funny it works out. But my beer of the week, is a Zombie Duck Hunter. Man, this is
oh my gosh,
from the Nintendo game. Yeah. This is awesome. It is from none other than Beer Zombies Brewing Company, and they are out of I can't see where it is. It's they're at Non-Heinous Craft Death, Beer Zombies label. It's a West Coast IPA, and I'll have to find out exactly where they are because
I wanted to make a joke that you needed reading glasses.
No, it's really San Diego. I'm sorry, it's really hard. So the way that the red is on the can with the blue, and the fact that I still don't have full vision.
Right, I was going to say your eyes have.
I'm like, oh my god, yeah, no, it was hard. But this can, I can see the can art.
Cool that is so cute. I can like hear him laughing. The hee.
So what do you got?
So I actually have one I've drank many times on here before, but it tis that time of year and they only release it that time of year. It is Ghost Blimp from Tactical Brewing. It's green, so I'm going with the theme of just green. And I actually just took a little beer picture with a little shamrock cup, and I stole Brielle's Rachel Green Lego. So I got Tori here in a Lego form.
All right. That's awesome. Well, why don't you go ahead and take us into what your comic books and things are for this week?
Well, talking all that stuff about comic book shops. I didn't read a single comic this
week. I haven't done anything this week. Well, why don't you talk about what have you watched? What's up? I know we haven't done our peacemaker yet. So
I know. I have a lot to say about Peacemaker, but that definitely is going to warrant a whole episode. So I won't say anything about that. But yes, we did finish that. I think we had very similar thoughts and very different thoughts at the same time about the finale. But that'll be
Yes.
fun when we do get to break that down. I will say I enjoyed it, but I do have comments and questions and feelings. So other than that, Daryl Dixon, we have one episode left of that season. They're going to do season 4, and then they're wrapping that up.
That's right. Yep.
So I really did like this last episode. I really loved that Daryl is still trying to heal and Carol feels like she has healed. So Daryl's trying to survive and Carol really wants to kind of live, and she's kind of pushing Daryl to do so. And this week she, quote, tried the local wine. There's this older lady who I love, and she's so pretty, but she's so matter of fact too. Like she asked Carol, she's like, I've noticed you've wanted to try the local wine. And Carol did.
A euphemism?
Yeah.
Okay,
and good for her, because
all right, good for you, boo.
Even when she was dating Ezekiel, I feel like she wasn't that into Ezekiel. She like still wanted her space. Ezekiel was more into her. And like this guy, she really seems
also, like you said, yeah, like I don't watch the show. Maybe you were legitimately talking about, when we went to Spain, I was really into the wine there. So it was cheap.
She tried the local wine too, like without the euphemism.
She literally did try the local one, but she also tried the local
wine. Things are getting a little caliente. Yeah. So I am liking it.
Okay.
I'm very much so enjoying it. And Gen V, dude, to watch.
I'm still behind. I haven't watched episode 6 yet or 7, so I might save the last 3 to watch in a batch. We'll see how I feel.
That's not a bad idea. That's actually a really good idea.
I got screeners for a TV show that's coming out on HBO soon. I got the first 5 episodes that I haven't watched yet that I need to cram before the 22nd, because that's when I can.
Did we get that or did you get that?
I got it.
Okay.
It only went to my Nerd Initiative email. So I'm doing that for Nerd Initiative. So I have to do that. It has to do with a certain horror movie. So I got to do that. And then also it's Spooky Month. And I also picked up Toxic Avenger on my Plex account. So I really want to watch that as well. So I'll get to all that stuff. But I did read some comic books. So 30 Days of Night, Fallen Sun. Now this is a continuation of the film 30 Days of Night with Josh Hartnett that came out all those years ago. Basically, this
what about Josh Hartnett? I just heard Josh Hartnett. Brielle was yelling.
She doesn't even listen to me, guys. Hear that? So I read 30 Days of Night, the new comic, Falling Sun, from IDW Dark. It's their Dark line. This is a picking up where I believe the movie left off, because they even show Josh Hartnett in a flashback scene. This group of vampires is going back to Barrow, and this is after their leader was killed. So
this is one you had me watch a while ago.
That movie's so freaking good. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the comic, we have pressed IDW, and I did the review, so highly recommend picking that up. Crypto, the last dog of Krypton, issue 5, wraps up that little mini run, and it's really beautiful because it's Crypto meeting Superman, but he's like a teenager, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Ryan North has taken us on a hellacious, very sad road trip to get to this point, but it was beautiful as a way of this. That wrapped up. I did Absolute Flash number 8. That is amazing. That takes us back. Basically, Barry Allen. We get the life and death of Barry Allen. So if you know anything about this run, it's taking place covering Wally West. Barry Allen, we see what he was working on. We get head nods to Eobard Thawne because his granddaughter is the one that recruited Barry to work on some stuff. Things go sideways from there. I don't want to spoil the run, but it's pretty good. And then the Punisher Red Band issue 2, Benjamin Percy's on it. This was a really crazy issue because Kingpin's monologuing the whole time. Punisher, it's a very, very contained. This picks up right where issue 1 left off. However, it's basically Kingpin monologuing as to why he has manipulated and used certain individuals and things to have Punisher working for him, who Punisher has amnesia at the moment. And so Punisher, it's basically him chasing down somebody in a tractor trailer and brutally going after them. However, Kingpin gets down in his underwear. And this isn't like, oh, big fat Kingpin. No, Kingpin's a unit. Every
he's not a big fat. He's just giant.
But like, the way that he is drawn, every muscle is detailed. And then he starts whipping himself in a scene. And I'm just like, so he feels the punishment, with one of those, I don't know,
right.
the whips that I just always think of the Passion of the Christ movie when they have those whips. But yeah, it's crazy. It's really good. It's incredible. And I can't say anything more than that. Right? It's just amazing. You have to read it. And then I did read Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe issue 4. Hulk and Godzilla face off. Hulk grows gigantic. He puts an axe in
2003 Hulk from the movie.
Well, I mean, he
gets
takes
bigger
a serum.
and bigger and bigger.
He takes a serum, right? Oh God, no, that was something else, wasn't it? And that was my first like entrance into Hulk too back in 2003. And so I was like,
that was probably a lot of people. Well, I mean, yeah, I didn't watch Lou Ferrigno.
Well, I didn't read the comics for Hulk. And so I literally thought Hulk got bigger the angrier he got. So when that didn't happen in the MCU with Edward Norton and stuff, I was like, now wait a minute. And she lied to us all. But no, he took his serum, battles Godzilla. He puts an axe in the back of Godzilla. They rip each other to shreds. And it kind of leaves us now with a Power Rangers type sequence with this mecha Zord, basically, with all the heroes. And there was even fun nod because Miles Morales goes Red 5 standing by. And it's getting ready to end next month with issue 5. So go read those. I did watch my first Hallmark movie of the season.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Call Out the Halloween, man. Kimberly J. Brown was in it.
Is it a Halloween Hallmark movie?
Yes, girl. Yes. It's a part of the series that is Haul Out the Holidays or Haul Out the Holly with Lacey Chabert and Ian, whatever the heck his name is. They live in this Utah town, which is very white. Like, first of all, I'm sitting there this whole time. I'm like, wow, this is the whitest. It's
maybe
in Utah,
it was the otherworld Nazi place.
Well, kind of. It was a little too white to be comfortable to ever actually live
what
there.
Was it called? I'm Dreaming of a White Halloween.
No, it's Evergreen Lane, obviously, because they always put on a great Christmas decor and decoration. But
it's a Halloween.
And it's all about this HOA, and these people move in. So the girl from Halloween Town and her husband move in. Actually, they both were at Halloween Town. And it kind of jumpstarts, hey, we never decorate for Halloween. Well, she's like, well, we can turn this into Ever Scream Lane. And then it goes into Lacey Chabert being like, well, we haven't really done anything Halloween since my grandma passed. And they keep talking to this very terrifying portrait of her grandma that looks like it should be calling you a slur. And I'm just like, this is something else.
Is grandma the reason the town's so white?
I don't know. Well, it's Utah. That's all. It's close to Salt Lake City, Utah. So, but it was just at a point, I'm like, I'm enjoying this movie. But my God, everybody is white. What the hell? And it was really weird. But aside from that,
anybody of color had taste and didn't want to be in the
movie.
movie.
Really smart, actually. But I would love to live in a town that celebrates holidays like that, but I need some variation. And I'm not living in Utah ever. However, it was ridiculous. It was funny. I just shut my brain off. There's a feel-good, stupid movie that really doesn't accomplish anything other than just making you forget about the horrors of society. And,
I did watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That reminded you. Oh, speaking of horrors of society,
I was just thinking of shutting your brain off and like, what did I watch?
The Jessica Biel one?
Yeah, she was the best part of that movie.
That movie is cinema. I freaking love that.
Josh was getting mad though because I kept saying what was going to happen before it happened, and he's like, because he'd seen it before, and I had always said
he
I
probably
don't
just
want to watch
didn't
that
remember.
movie. Well,
this was your first time watching it?
Yeah, it was my first time watching it.
Take us away. I want to hear this.
He had seen it. So I had fallen for that urban legend that it was based on a real story, and it's not. And so Josh was like, I don't think that's true. And I'm like, look it up. If it's not true, I'll watch it. I didn't want to watch something.
You thought the sheriff stuff in the beginning was real, huh?
I had no idea. I didn't know. I had no idea about any of it other than I knew Jessica Biel was in it. So I knew nothing.
She is so fine in that movie too.
But it was very predictable. She was the best part of that movie. But in those low-rise jeans, I miss low-rise jeans. But they didn't tell you why the guy was doing what he was doing. There was no backstory. Clearly there's some backstory. That little kid was just like, guys gotta get out of here. And I felt like there should have been some sort of backstory.
And they go and hide in that trailer with the kid, and the lady's just fat, and oh my gosh, yes.
And it was
honestly weird. That movie does a really good job at making you feel uncomfortable though. I will have to say that.
And then they had then Brielle put on the newer one, and I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. So I'm literally just waiting for this guy to kill everybody. I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh, the new one.
Was like
I liked the new one, but they go onto that town. It wasn't bad, but
I watched maybe first 30 minutes.
If you just want to see some people get killed, then there you go.
I didn't want to do it anymore.
You should watch the 70s Texas Chainsaw, where it's really gross. Like they filmed that movie in the 70s, and they did the dinner scene was recreated. So they did the dinner scene in the 70s one. However, there was no AC. So that meat was rotting. Ugh. They filmed for like 14 hours straight. People were sick and throwing up on set. And apparently they were like tortured on set for that movie. The whole backstory into the filming of the first original one is insane.
It's a horror story of itself.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's worth a deep dive into. I think I did that with Charlie. Him and I deep dove into it and talked about it, but yeah. Anyways, now that we got your stomachs good, let's dive into some news. So we did get a lot of New York City Comic-Con news, such as Wonder Man has a trailer that came out.
Fun trailer.
It is casting. Yeah. So it comes out January 27th, 8 episodes, 30 minutes each. And I'm pretty stoked for this. The trailer did look pretty awesome. I can't wait for this.
And I know nothing about him. And like watching that trailer,
he's an actor. That's really about all I know. Yeah.
But it made me excited to do the comic.
I can't wait for it. Yeah. our deep dives. I'm really pumped for that. Maybe when I'm at Epic Comics, I'll kind of dig through and see if they have any Wonder Man comics.
Oh, they might. Oh, yeah, Ben Kingsley's in it, so that's
Oh God,
fun.
yeah.
I love that
Ben
little
Actol.
cameo. Yeah. I was
Oh,
like, did this
man.
guy used to be a terrorist?
That's what's hilarious. He was literally a terrorist, and now he
You
went
said
with
that almost like him.
Shang-Chi, and then now he's
Mandarin.
oh God.
They're making fun of themselves.
They are.
You know, they kind of ruined the Mandarin story, and then they kind of fixed the Mandarin story.
You know
and now
what?
They're just making
They're
fun
having
of it.
fun with it. All right. So next
I'm
thing,
excited.
I'm really excited for this next piece of news. Daredevil Born Again, March 2026. Not only it's going to lead directly into Spider-Man Brand New Day, and Winterbomb is teasing some more stuff with Jessica Jones, and they've been teasing a lot of Defenders since. What does it mean? I don't know. But Daredevil ties into Spider-Man.
As it should.
I mean,
he is his attorney.
He's also going to be showing up in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2, which I know
I could not get past the first
I
episode.
enjoyed it. That comes out next fall, 2026, but Daredevil is going to be showing up in that again. It was all right. It wasn't something I must watch.
I couldn't get past the art, man. I don't know what it was. It was
fair.
like, I feel like how Martian Manhunter is for you.
Yeah, no, you're valid.
That's my Spider-Man.
So what the X-Men? What will be happening with the X-Men right now?
So X-Men 97 season 2 will be next summer, and season 3 is happening. And it looked like Julia and Eric Lawald were out there like promoting it, and it's so fun to see them still involved making this new show happen. We're gonna have to rewatch season 1 because 1, it was such a good season, and 2, I've forgotten so much. I feel like I remember it all, but I know I've forgotten. And then Vision Quest 2. So Vision Quest on its own, not 2.
Oh, they did. We got a casting for Tommy as well.
Yeah, so that's going to be out in 2026. I haven't really talked about that, and we haven't really pushed it because I didn't really know exactly what was going on.
I didn't know if it was still happening.
Yeah, but Paul Bettany's actually talking about it. It sounds like the Jarvis guy's actually coming back. Jarvis from Peggy Carter and Endgame.
Yes.
So
I'm excited. I want to know.
Yeah,
White Vision went out for milk and never came back. What's the story? I need to know. Like, where's he at, man? So, yeah. Aside from that,
I messed up my muting. I coughed and then I muted.
We figured it out. Well, I know I'm not really big into Yellow Jackets, but Yellow Jackets will have a season 4. It will be the final season. It's going to kind of end naturally, which my wife watches. I know Tracy and the crew kind of watches. You were watching it as well. Do you feel that's a good thing that's ending?
I do. I think it's a very good thing. I didn't love season 2. Then season 3, I felt like kind of got back on track. And now I'm like, oh, I think I see where they're going. And if they're going in this direction, I actually like it because that's not where it seemed like it was going at the end of season 2. There's also, I have to find this piece of news. I found something about Santa Clarita Diet because when I heard this, I'm like, I'm glad they're having one more season.
Bring it back.
They're properly ending it. We know what's going on. So apparently Santa Clarita Diet was told they were only going to get 3 seasons, or that was good. The 3rd season was going to be the last. And they're kind of like, hold our beer. This show's so good. We're going to leave on a major cliffhanger. So Netflix is going to want to pick us up again. And Netflix didn't.
Bro.
So I saw that recently and that's what made me think.
What? That makes me very.
So they did it to us on purpose.
I'm gonna go find that.
It's like the knife just got twisted.
That is wild. I can't believe that. Jeez. All right. Well, Amazon Prime. Speaking of cancellations, they did not renew Butterfly or Jensen's show Countdown. That means he's got time to be Batman.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
And he gets time to start touring for Radio Company.
Yeah. I'll go to that show. Hell yeah. Listen. Lauren has Stockholm syndrome to me. All right. Anytime I'm in the car, she plays it. So I just think of Jensen's sweet, smooth, silky voice. So I will go to that show gladly. Why not? Yeah. Woohoo. Become Batman, Jensen.
I didn't love Countdown, so I'm okay because if it came back, I'd probably watch it. I did watch it.
Yeah.
They ended with a huge cliffhanger. They literally had like a gun shoot, and it looked like one of the main characters was about to get shot, and they just cut it, and you don't know if that person got shot or not.
Dang. So, all right. Cliffhangers are all the rage, kids. Hold my beer. They're going to pick it up because I'm Jensen.
I feel like it wasn't even a cliffhanger. It was literally just like cut in the middle of a scene. And the worst part is like they concluded the first story arc like halfway through the season. So I was like, oh, they just wrapped it all up and there's still like 4 episodes left. And then they started a whole new story and they did not wrap that up.
All right. Well, why don't you tell us, because Lee Pace is going to be voicing in this season of what show?
Invincible season 4 premieres March 2026.
Finally. That's actually, I feel like that's pretty fast considering Invincible last time took a few years to come back, didn't it?
Yeah. And then they made fun of it. Robert Kirkman literally made fun of it in the comic or in the show where he was like, he had Mark Grayson go to a Comic-Con because Mark Grayson is into comic book, especially Science Dog. And so he goes to a Comic-Con and you actually see like people cosplaying as Walking Dead characters and stuff in the comic. And in the show, he's like giving them crap, like, why don't you have this next season out already? He's like, well, it actually takes a lot longer and da-da-da-da. And they're like, then sometimes we do scenes where we just cover the person's mouth and then we can do the editing quicker. And like Mark's holding the comic book up in front of his mouth. And so it was a cute little meta
See,
nod.
at least they're self-aware. I like when
Yeah.
people are self-aware. Okay, I can get behind that. So I do want to talk about Swamp Thing Kills the Children, because there is a crossover coming with Swamp Thing and Something is Killing the Children from James Tynion.
That is very interesting. I'm excited to read that.
I really excited for that because I feel like that's a crossover that makes a lot of sense that I just never would have thought about, but it really does make sense. And then not only that, well, go ahead.
The Swamp Thing's a nice monster.
But yeah, but if there's monsters in the swamp that she's chasing and going after, then they team up to take down some of these monsters, right?
So Swamp Thing will team up with Erica?
I assume so.
Interesting.
Why not?
Well, I will find out because I am.
Guess we're gonna have to find out. Yeah, and Vertigo Comics from DC is coming back actually with a lot of really good creators. There's a lot of creators doing a lot of crazy good things. Like James Tynion's going to be involved in it, for example. So be on the lookout for that. A lot of them start in February of 2026, actually, which Vertigo
is like
they keep saying 2026, and I'm like, oh wow. There's a lot going on, but more than that, DC announced some big news too. So DC's Fight Month is coming up, and so Fight Month is just a bunch of fights between all their characters, right? Because December 2025, you're not only going to be fighting over that Turbo Man doll, Superman versus Captain Atom. They're going to be fighting Aquaman and Hawkman, Wonder Woman and Lobo. They're going to be fighting Cyborg versus Swamp Thing.
Take it to the sky and the sea.
Yeah, Harley Quinn faces
Cyborg.
Zatanna.
I feel like it's like Swamp Thing could just take him to the swamp and like
That's
short
just like
circuit him.
Zatanna's going to just rip apart Harley Quinn, I would hope. I love Zatanna. Jay Garrick and Guy Gardner. Lex Luthor versus the Demon. Red Hood versus the Joker.
That should be interesting.
Revenge game. Then we got DC's Night Fight coming out in November. Yeah, they're gonna place a crowbar down, and it's gonna be like, all right, let's do this.
It's just gonna have PTSD and just fold.
But even after that, so once DCKO is done in March, they're gonna be doing DC Next Level. So that's gonna include Batwoman, Deathstroke, Firestorm, Shadow of the Bat, Zatanna, Lobo, Demon, Barbara Gordon Breakout, and a lot more. And there's gonna be creators like Jeff Lemire, Greg Rucka, Denise Camp, Jamal Campbell, Tony Fleeks, Joshua Williamson. So a lot of them are going to be involved in it. So that's a lot to look out for at the same time. I cannot wait for that. And then, last thing, Dexter Resurrection. You excited that's coming back?
Yeah, I loved the first season. I'm glad they're bringing it back. I think it's a little sad that it was at the death of Dexter Newblood. That's what the
expect one of us in the wreckage, brother.
But the way it ended, it was one of those you could have wrapped it up or you could keep going. So I guess they're going to keep going.
At least there was a final, an ending. I don't know.
I really thought the Dexter Resurrection was really good.
Well, apparently Paramount felt differently. So speaking of which, HBO Max.
Resurrection's the one that got renewed. New Blood. I thought New Blood was really good too.
Listen, man, I can't keep up. Okay. All I know is HBO rejected Paramount in their bid to buy them. So whatever.
New Blood is the prequel. That's like right. All different actors, but the casting for some of these actors was spot on. That young Deb, she deserves whatever award you get for being on TV. I think it's
called an Emmy. However, Peacemaker should be taking those with like Danielle Brooks and stuff like that. So,
oh my gosh, seriously, yes. No, Deb should win some sort of award for like most like. She cursed a lot.
I don't think they have a best lookalike, but if they did,
they should have something like best like playing the person. Like
they do. I think there's like a best cast director or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, best casting. I don't know. Let's talk about Leprechaun.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back. Let's talk about Leprechaun. Top of the morning to you, mateys. We are going to be talking about Leprechaun, the 1993 film written and directed by Mark Jones, starring Jennifer Aniston. Before she was Rachel Green, of course. Oh, right. We got the sunglasses. I wear.
Got my rainbow glasses on. I follow these to the end. I get a pot.
Oh, Ozzy. Now, Warwick Davis, Ken Oldent, and more. It came out January 8th of 1993. While March would have probably been a lot better month. You're right. Maybe they figured everybody was depressed in January.
Or October. You had 2 perfect months to drop it, and you chose January.
Wolf. Well, the IMDb description is an evil, sadistic leprechaun goes on a killing rampage, if you want to call it that, in search of his beloved pot of gold. It got rated 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb. He didn't do a whole lot of killing. He grabbed a couple people's faces. All right.
And then the whole time he was description. That was IMDb. He killed one person. No, he didn't even kill her.
No,
She
he
fell down a
killed the
flight of
top or
stairs.
whatever. He squished the head or
No,
whatnot,
but
right?
it says okay, yeah.
He didn't quite go on a
I guess I
killing
was
rampage.
thinking in the beginning.
We have very big definitions. He went on a cleaning rampage with those shoes, if anything.
Yes,
But
yes.
that was really
Cleaned
about
more
it.
shoes than killed people.
The budget was $900,000. It surprisingly made $8 million. And then the DVD tagline is "Her luck just ran out." So I will take a sip anytime you say a leprechaun, Lauren. Why don't you switch your glasses again
All right, I
and
have
take
multiple
us?
glasses. I'm gonna go to the reading ones now. Okay. So
Oh,
a drunk
boy.
guy comes home in a limo. He was supposed to be spreading his mother's ashes in Ireland, but he comes back with a pot of gold and a leprechaun in a suitcase. This drunk guy's wife lets the leprechaun out because she hears a child in it saying, like, please let me out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So he can basically throw his voice to sound like whoever he wants to sound like. Now, he doesn't exactly kill the wife. She falls down the stairs and breaks her neck. The husband then locks the leprechaun in a box with a 4-leaf clover on top. He tries to burn the whole house down and says, "Burn in hell, you little green bastard." But the leprechaun curses him and the match goes out. Then we see the guy keel over and seem like he dies, leaving the leprechaun trapped in the box. What's in the box?
Yes. All right. Yes. Now, 10 years later, Jennifer Aniston and her dad move into the drunk guy's house for the summer. Jennifer/Tori is being obnoxious that they're there, not in LA. Okay. She's trying to get her big break. One giant spider, and Tori runs outside to make a hotel reservation. Instead, she knocks over some 90s hot guys paint thinner.
90s hot. I didn't think he was hot. 90s hot.
Like he's hot for the 90s. All right.
Yeah. You were like, okay, I already know where this is going.
Right. Now, his misogyny is showing, to which she replies the most used line of the 90s. It's the 90s, man.
I started laughing because I had already wrote that he was 90s hot. And then when she said it's the 90s, I just started laughing.
They write themselves.
They say that in every show and movie in the 90s. Anytime, like, oh, it's the 90s. Women can do this. It's the 90s.
It was a very progressive time. Meanwhile, Bluey says it was the 80s, man. Now, Tori is now determined to prove this Nathan guy wrong about girls, bugs, and spiders. So what does Tori do next?
Tori heads downstairs to offer Nathan a peace offering. Their commotion awakens the leprechaun in the box. They run outside as they hear the other painters still paint. The other painters are Ozzy and the kid who broke his leg and don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. As Ozzy goes inside to clean off the paint, he hears the leprechaun use his childlike voice and he starts
singing. Why am I getting all the drinking paragraphs?
Little star. Oh, I wasn't even playing. That's funny.
There was no leprechaun when mine. You got all the leprechaun.
Oh, so I haven't messed up yet. And then he begs to be released from the crate. Ozzy knocks the 4-leaf clover to the ground, and out comes the leprechaun. He asks Ozzy if he's seen a pot of gold, and then he threatens. Ozzy gets away because the leprechaun is still kind of weak, and Ozzy runs outside, and he explains what happens. Ozzy says, quote, "He wasn't nice like Lucky Charms," end quote. And here's something you need to know, though. Ozzy is a grown man, but he's also has the mind of a child.
Also, this movie was inspired by Lucky Charms. Yes.
They didn't shy away from that. All right, no. I'm ready to drink now.
They all go back inside to investigate, to which they find a rat, and it's just a rat. They think the mystery is solved. Hooray! They all go outside, and that's when they see a magic rainbow. Ozzy wants to go to the end of the rainbow. However, Ozzy and the kid find some gold at the end of the rainbow.
I should have said drink when I say Ozzy.
Ozzy swallows one, and now they're rich because Ozzy can buy comics every week. Look, Ozzy's just like us. All right.
I loved that.
The kid says Ozzy can also get an operation to be smart.
Wow, you didn't say leprechaun once.
Not once. I'm taking the next paragraph.
Okay, go for it. That's fine.
As Nathan and Tori paint the house in a weird way, we see the leprechaun under the truck petting Tori's leg. She screams. She realizes it wasn't Nathan, and she screams some more, gets scratched. The leprechaun then runs away. They hear a cat, and that's who they assume the culprit is. As the dad tries to get the cat, bites him because it's actually the leprechaun. Off to the hospital they go.
Meanwhile, Ozzy and the kid go to a collector place in town to get one of the coins looked at. He asks if he can, the guy who owns the shop asks, "Hey, can I hold on to this overnight? I'd like to study it and figure out the value." He's actually intrigued with the coin. The leprechaun then sees the collector or pays the collector due to visit and takes the coin, but he doesn't leave without having some fun with a pogo stick on top of the guy. And then he now has one gold coin and he's got 99 coins to go. He then takes a toy car from the shop and loads it up with a whole bunch of stuff and leaves.
Sure does. So a toy car that apparently goes fast enough to warrant getting pulled over at that. The cop assumes he's a kid. "Hey, why don't you take that mask off?" And he says, "Gladly." And then that's when he grabs the cop's face and can all that kind of good fun stuff, and actually learns that he's 600 years old. He's a 600-year-old leprechaun, and the leprechaun attacks after some hide and seek. He breaks the cop's neck. And that's when the leprechaun goes back to the house, finds some generic Lucky Charms, which he is not happy with, and continues to look for gold. Then he gathers up all of the shoes and cleans them, as one sadistic little creature does.
So Tori and all three boys go back to the house while Dad's still in the hospital, and they find the place completely ransacked and shoes displayed. They clean up the kitchen, and then they hear Ozzy playing with a bike bell. A bit later, they hear the bell again.
Ozzy, will you stop with that bell?
Not Ozzy. I know. She acts like she's known them forever.
She really does.
Nathan goes to check it out, and the leprechaun catches him in a bear trap, which was pretty gross. Nathan gets a few punches in, and then the boys and Tori run out. Ozzy calls cop, but it sounds like BS because they're very familiar with who he is, so they ignore it.
Say the line. Hold on. Say the line first. You got to get to the end of the paragraph, then we're going to talk.
Okay. Tori hits it. The kid tries to take a shot. Tori gets the bear trap off Nathan, and he shoots at the bushes. And then Tori very obviously says, quote, "That was no effing bear," end quote, which was funny to hear Rachel Green say that.
Okay. So this whole sequence is probably the most off the wall, absurd part of the movie. Nathan's getting attacked, and he's throwing very soft pillow haymakers at this leprechaun. But then he tells the child, not the adults, he says, get the gun, to the 9-year-old child, who then runs and gets a loaded weapon and runs all over with. And them not
Maybe
even
they do things differently in North Dakota or wherever.
It was the 90s. Okay.
It was the 90s.
Kids were allowed to play with guns in the 90s. And not even that, but they just gang up. So Tori has a bat. She's hitting him with a bat. They circle around this freaking leprechaun, and they're like hitting it with a bat and just basically beating it up like it's
they did a pretty good
printer
job
in Office Space. It's just the most like Nathan's laying there like, oh no, I'm hurt. And he's just like, meanwhile, like they're taking bats. It's the most absurd sequence, which then leads us to an even more absurd sequence because the phone line's now dead and they're trying to get the bleeding to stop for Nate. They go and get him into the truck to make a second trip to the hospital. The truck doesn't start. So the kid gets out to start the car. Again, the kid gets the gun.
He's the only one
this
that
kid knows how to start a car.
Because we saw him do it before.
This kid's going places. He's going to be working with Dom Toretto before he knows it. So the leprechaun was under the hood. So they all try to stay safe inside the car. That's when the leprechaun punches the windshield. Tori to the rescue because her and the kid are like the only two worthwhile beings in this. She takes a cigarette lighter, which obviously is hard to explain to our kids. I
had looked at Brielle and go, "Do you know what she just did?" She's like, "I have no idea." I'm like, "That's a cigarette lighter." She's like, "There was a cigarette lighter."
Push it in, it heats up, you pull it out, you smoke. But then that cigarette lighter is also how you used your Magellan or
how
your cassette tape and
Nokia
stuff.
Phone
Anything, man. So he takes off for a minute. They make their escape. To which the leprechaun. Well, before that, they're in the truck. The leprechaun gets his little tiny toy car and he gets up to speed enough to where he's got the little pitchfork or whatever at the end of the freaking car and he rams into the side of the truck and causes the truck to flip. It's absurd.
I don't even remember that. I was probably writing
It is absurd that this leprechaun in this tiny RC car has a pitchfork at the end and it's still tall enough to hit the truck and the truck flips like it's it's absurd. This movie is on drugs and I love it. Okay. But yes, they go at that point and into the house. He chases them, but does not make it into the house. But he does have a chopped off hand that does make it inside the house. And right as Logan's friend walks into the living room, and so we have to pause, don't come in.
Yes, my 8-year-old had his friend over, and this scene happened right as he walked into the living room.
It's a leprechaun hand. It's
and then I love when you go to like pause it so the kids don't see anything, and you pause it on like a horrific scene.
And you're like, don't look. And then there's like,
yes, 100%.
Was it Sean's kid?
No, it was a neighborhood kid. But because Brielle and I were in the living room, I'm like, pause.
Could have created a house of horrors for Sean's kid. Damn it.
Oh my gosh. All right. So the hand still worked though. So Tori manages to make a call on her cell phone. So the station calls the cop. So the station gets this phone call and they're like, okay, this might be warranted. This isn't just Ozzy making up some crazy thing because last week he called because the aliens were abducting him. But the station calls the cop whose neck has been broken. The leprechaun pretends to be said cop and says, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. He sounded very professional. He's like, I'll let you know if I need backup. Tori yells at Ozzy to stop calling it a leprechaun, and then the kids accidentally come clean about the gold. Alex tells Tori, Alex is the kid with the broken leg, and don't tell mom the babysitter's dead, where the gold is.
The only kid who seems worthwhile in this movie.
And so Tori's the only adult there that isn't injured. So she's going to get the gold to give it to the leprechaun.
It's something. It is something. Now, right as Tori gets the gold, the leprechaun shows up. She hands it on over to him. She goes, you want this? Take it. And his powers are slowly returning, to which he gives her a kiss on the cheek. And he seems happy. Tori runs away. He begins counting his gold. However, he only gets up to 99. Well, they swindled him because Ozzy obviously swallowed one. Ozzy, instead of eating the heads off bats,
I was just
eating
thinking of that.
coins. So Alex opens up the fridge, and there comes the leprechaun, and then vanishes, which pops up, and it just grabs Nathan's dick. He grabs him in the dick.
It was so
Twist
weird.
his dick. Yes, he does.
So
That
weird.
fighting maneuver. Okay. He's just messing with him at this point. Nathan gets a shot off, to which he's like, yeah, I got him with the shotty. Woohoo. Just kidding. And that's when the leprechaun pops up and goes, yeah, just kidding. He's more Southern in that case than anything else. I apologize. So Nathan continues to shoot despite knowing it does not work.
So the leprechaun calls on the broken phone asking for his gold. Ozzy puts it together that he wants the last coin that is in his tummy. Tori won't let him go after it, but then Ozzy says, let's go ask O'Grady. So it turns out the old guy at the beginning was actually not dead. Apparently, he is just living in an old folks' home telling stories of leprechauns and fairies.
As one
They
does.
try to make it to Tori's car this time. They throw shoes as a way to distract him and stall him, which was very clever and also like, I wouldn't have picked that up just because all the shoes were displayed in the first one, but I guess they're just going on tropes at this point.
Well, remember when they got back, they noticed that the shoes were all
Right.
like clean. So,
but then they knew that he was going to have to compulsively clean them and not chase him.
Listen, okay, this is a world where a 9-year-old kid grabs the gun, knows how to start the truck. A toy car flips a truck, and then there's a leprechaun chasing them, and everybody is cool. And so where you draw the line is them throwing shoes at the leprechaun.
Well, I was like, how do they already know how to do that?
That's where you draw the line.
They didn't pause to go research the lore.
Any of this other absurdity, which this whole movie could have been dissolved if he had thrown up. Just, hey, leprechaun dude, do you mind if I take a poop? And then you can get your gold coin after I poop? Because
I'd rather cut it out of his tummy.
Then we're chill. There's your gold coins. Goodbye, I guess. No, they throw
Maybe
shoes.
Maybe they thought it was like gum that it'll take.
They do throw,
years.
and so not only do they're throwing shoes, and he's like trying to clean these shoes, and it is the most
funny.
It was hilarious. I can't say it's the most hilarious because the circle beating of him was hilarious, but this is also right there for like most hilarious moments in horror film history. When you throw shoes for a leprechaun,
you definitely have an argument for that.
The leprechaun is cleaning shoes,
but it works.
Like,
Tori manages to dry off as it's cleaning the shoes, and then the boys all run back inside, and the leprechaun tries to catch up to Tori using magic and roller skates.
Okay, I mean, so let's not even talk about the fact that Tori brought enough shoes on this weekend getaway to distract.
They were going to be there all summer.
Oh yeah, you're right. So she brought,
and there might have been some of their
a lot of
Grady
shoes.
I don't judge her at all.
Where they're going to war in this bodunk town to warrant these suede heels.
Shoes and underwear. You always need more than you. No, you don't. You always need less than you think.
I can survive,
but you're going to pack more than you need.
Yeah. All right. So Tori makes it to the home with the old man, O'Grady. She gets to his room and she's talking to him. And how do I kill him? He goes, you want to know? Well, I'm never going to tell you because there's only a leprechaun. And there's only one way and he's never going to tell. She makes it to an elevator and O'Grady's head and arm fall through the ceiling on the elevator. Before dying, he says to get a freshly plucked 4-leaf clover from the next to the well. She takes off as she looks for a 4-leaf clover in a pile of clovers in the middle of the night. Easier said than done, I guess, but now it stops her. A chase ensues. She sees a cop car with the lights on. However, it's the dead cop.
No, it's not going to end well.
She manages to hit him in the eye, rips out. The leprechaun takes the cop's dead eye, you know?
Yeah, and she like hits him in the eye and like damages an eye. And he's like, an eye for an eye. And he takes it.
And why, guys? Listen, why all these eye trauma? Okay. I'm feeling a little attacked. God bless. Yes. So how does this movie wrap up?
So Nathan shows up and shoots it. Of course, that doesn't do anything. Then they're off to go find the 4-leaf clover before it wakes up. So meanwhile, Alex sets up a bear trap determined to catch it. After Tori was mean to poor Ozzy, they do finally find a 4-leaf clover. And they bust in on the leprechaun attacking Alex, and Ozzy tells it the last coin is in his belly. So, of course, he attacks Ozzy. Alex runs up with the clover in a slingshot and says, F you, Lucky Charms. And shoots it right down his throat.
He sure
the leprechaun goes full Gremlins in the Sun, Crypt Keeper, and falls down the well. But then climbs back up, wanting his gold. Nathan knocks him down, pours gas or paint thinner or something into it, and lights it on fire. Finally, the cops show up. The leprechaun is trapped, but clearly
no. He makes yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. My God, that fun facts. Before we even think about breaking down what we just witnessed, Warwick Davis originally wasn't very happy with the movie, but once Jennifer Aniston became Rachel, people started to rent the movie and he changed his mind, as money will change your mind and popularity, right? And actually, she almost didn't even get the role because she was blonde. She wasn't blonde, but the director really wanted her and so fought for her. And that's how she got
They
cast.
said they'd dye her hair blonde and they never did.
Nope, sure didn't.
She needed to be blonde. So the U.S. Vice President at the time, Dan Quell, received a special thanks credit because his office sped up the working visa for Warwick Davis.
Back when politics were
British.
simple, okay?
Yeah.
Couldn't be. Also, George Lucas got a credit because Warwick had a contract with Lucasfilms, but he allowed him to do this.
So nice of him to do that.
It was.
So behind the scenes, there were some disagreements as to whether they were going to focus on gore, like in Nightmare on Elm Street movies, or more horror comedy, like Gremlins. They leaned more horror comedy, but some scenes were reshot to add in gore. I don't feel like it was a horror comedy.
I don't know what they were going for.
I think that's the problem. I think there were too many disagreements on where to go.
Yeah.
So it didn't
Because
land
there's
on
some
either
parts
side.
where they wanted to lean into the horror, such as when he's plucking his eyebrow, his eyebrow. Yeah, he's plucking his eyebrows.
Well,
So
the
he's-
Lucky Charms line.
Yeah, he's plucking his eye out. He's grabbing the face. He's snapping the necks. That's where they wanted to kind of lean into that horror. But then there's those ridiculous shoe cleaning scenes and we're circle pit around the leprechaun beating him with a bat. And so at those moments, you can't take it very seriously. So it's kind of hard not to laugh. And that definitely comes from mixed vision to not having a full coherent vision. And yeah, you can just tell they didn't know what they wanted. But because I think what Nightmare on Elm Street does really well is they do blend that horror and comedy. Freddy is a hilarious character.
Funny. He's like
He's also
Spider-Man, but a
terrifying
villain.
because he will
Yeah.
kill you in violent and vicious ways. This leprechaun didn't do a whole lot of killing. I'm sorry.
He really didn't.
He
He killed the cop, and that was
He wanted his gold, and that was it.
killed
And,
the cop and the shop owner. I don't think he killed anybody else.
He didn't really do a whole lot of killing. He did a lot of, he was talking a lot of crap. That's
Right.
about it. I think he cleaned more shoes than he did kill. So
100%.
while Mark Jones loved the idea of Warwick playing the leprechaun, he never thought he'd say yes after his success on Willow. However, sadly, Warwick had just lost his infant son, and so he felt playing a villain could be therapeutic.
I get that. Just
I
going
respect
full
that. Yeah. That's
silly
hard.
villain and just getting lost in something that didn't matter.
Yeah. We already talked about how Jones fought to get Anniston cast. She wasn't who they wanted. And then she was obviously replaced in the sequel because she was busy doing a little known show called Friends.
No one told you life.
She wasn't going back there.
You actually said the Lucky Charms thing. So Davis was given free reign of how he wanted to play the character. So the scene of him in the kitchen was a lot of ad lib, as was his reaction to his reflection for the first time, which was very funny.
He's
he found that
hilarious
little
in this
mirror.
movie. Okay.
Yeah.
He is my star. He steals the show. These movies get progressively more insane. So in 2019, Anniston said that she had rewatched Leprechaun a decade earlier with her then boyfriend Matthew Roth for shits and giggles.
Matthew, that's Justin.
It's Justin Thoreau, but we can pretend. She admitted that she kept walking in and out of the room, shrinking or smirking. Was it smirking or shrinking?
Probably, I think shrinking, like embarrassed.
Oh, embarrassed as she appeared on screen. Okay, you're right. My bad.
So, I actually did not think she was terrible in this. There are times where she's a little whiny
really
and stuff,
not.
but I think that's her character.
As far as like first,
but also she's
actresses for a horror movie, she did pretty good.
Well, and her dad was a big time actor or something for years, but so it makes sense that she, it came to her a little bit naturally, and she grew up in it kind of. But also, her character was very well rounded, and like. One of the things I actually liked about this movie was they weren't just like, oh, okay, it's a leprechaun. Oh, no. Like, they were like, okay, sure it is.
She was
and
like, no, it's not.
Right.
Shut
and
up.
so they were very,
she was kind of mean to Ozzy.
Very grounded.
She was like, Ozzy, stop being, and I was like, come on, man. Like,
she would go from being very patient to him to very short with him very quick. And I felt like that's probably very common
too. Yeah.
But I feel like that's probably very common for an adult who has the mind of a child, where it's like you have to sometimes remind yourself you need to be patient with this person. They don't mean it. And like she just met this kid, but she was talking to them like she'd known them forever. But I could see her getting, like you're in the moment and you don't know what's happening.
High stress situation. Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like her
shoes are getting cleaned, not properly.
Her character is very realistic, though.
I would say I thought she did a pretty good job. I really did. So
what happened with his pogo stick?
Now, when the leprechaun hops on the pogo stick, it plays in slow motion, and it's because the stunt double using it was only able to get 2 jumps in due to the difficulty operating it. So the scene was slowed down to make it look more real. And the studio ordered inserted shots to make the scene gorier. Listen, I've pogo sticked. I can only do a few. It happens, all right?
It's not easy, especially
1 in 5 men have an issue with pogo sticking, all right?
So Warwick, though, was actually a speed skater. So in the movie, he's wearing his own
skates.
And he's the one that actually did the stunt when the leprechaun rides on the road before crashing through the fence.
Good for him.
That was cool. Yeah.
Several scenes were also shot at Big Sky Ranch, where Little House on the Prairie was filmed, funny enough. And also the hospital is the same one from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Good film. I will maintain that.
No, I actually don't think I've seen that one. Ian has the tattoo, the TV with the
Season of the Witch is good.
jack-o'-lantern. Yeah. So this is not the only film where Warwick Davis plays a leprechaun. So if you want more of him wearing the crazy shoes, because he wears them in every movie at his own insistence, there is Leprechaun 2 from 94, Leprechaun 3 95, Leprechaun 4 in space 96, because every good franchise eventually gets to space. Leprechaun 5 in the Hood 2000.
That one is my favorite because it's so oh my god. I want you to watch that one just because it's so absurd. That
I can
one
only imagine.
We talk
there's
about
Leprechaun Back to the
Patreon.
Hood.
Yes.
In 2003.
Those movies are something.
So there's more, but he's not in them. But yeah, in the Hood, I can't imagine that is
it's crazy absurd. Okay. I want to watch. When we're getting back from a night of drinking, we're throwing on Leprechaun in the Hood and we're having a blast. Oh god, it's amazing. So just this movie is absurd. It doesn't know what it wants to be. No. The cops played no part in this movie. They called the cops. They just say it's Ozzy.
Cops show up at the end, but I'm like, what did they tell him?
Yeah, but then again, there's like no dead bodies either.
The cops dead.
Well, yeah, the cops. So then, like, how are you getting out of that one?
Yeah, exactly.
There really is no main character dies.
In the sequel, poor Ozzy got locked up.
Yeah, well, you would think that's true. You would think that Nathan would have died because the boyfriend tends to die, but nobody dies in this movie.
I actually, at the beginning, I'm like, I wonder who's going to die. I don't think Rachel's going to die. I think she's going to survive. They're not going to kill the kid. I'm like, oh, they can't kill Ozzy. And then I was like, wait, are they going to kill Nathan? And then they just took the dad out of the equation completely.
For 2 seconds, make you think Nathan's toast. And then they're like, just kidding. He's actually not. And so.
But she should have been at the hospital too, because she got scratched by that thing. She needed a tetanus shot as well, or a rabies shot. Did you have a favorite scene though? Because mine is definitely where they beat him in a circle with a bat. That was good. And I did like that it was like they were getting in good shots. Do I have a favorite scene? I don't know. The credits. No. Come on, man. I did think the scene where he's like petting her on the leg was a bit absurd because why would she be okay with this guy petting her leg under the car? Super chill about somebody being under the car petting her leg for the fact she's like, I know what it feels like when a man pets my leg, and her dad's like, you do? So that was actually kind of funny. Why was she even okay with that to begin? I think my favorite the whole was when process behind that. Yeah, I liked when Ozzy said, "I can buy comics every week now." I'm going to say that was my favorite line. I liked Ozzy and the kid. The kid even was like, "Ozzy, shut the hell up." Most of the time, he was mean to Ozzy too, but in like a brotherly kind of way, where the kid was the most friends. adult out of everybody there. Yeah, I agree. This movie's listen. I'm giving this movie like a 2 out of 5, only because the reason why it's even a 2 is because it is hilarious. What did I give Troll? I'll give it a point more than I gave Troll. I think I gave Troll half a point. I think Troll is, I don't think Troll was rated very highly for us. These movies are hilarious. Okay. And I forgot how just absurd this was. So I'm giving it a 2 on the hilarity scale. Sure. I'll piggyback. There you go. Good. There you go. It's a 2 out of 5. We fulfilled our MegaCon wishes and requirements. Make sure you check us out this coming Sunday at Epic Comics in Orlando. You can follow us on social media to find out more about that. And also make sure this coming Wednesday new comic book day is out. So make sure you follow us on nerdinitiative.com for all of that. And man, we're going to have some cool things coming up from you soon. It's hard to believe Halloween is almost here and October's almost done. So we will be rolling. Don't even say that. How dare you say that? I'm not ready. Okay. So make sure follow us. Nightmare Before Christmas makes Halloween last longer. Wait, what were we finishing with? I guess I don't know. We have to think of something good. I don't know. All right, more to come. We'll figure it out. We got 2 more episodes before Halloween. That's right. We got 2 before Halloween. That's right. All right, we'll figure it out. We'll see you guys next week. Be sure to follow us social media, patreon.com, if you want to hang out with us, to come on, hang out, pick movies you want to watch together. Have a good time. We like to do that too. So we will see you guys next time. Peace out. See you at Epic Comics, everybody.